Winners think that they aren't working hard enough when they're literally working their ass off, compared to losers who think they're working hard enough when they ain't doing shit, bro. And that's the biggest difference between winner mentality and loser mentality. I want you to think of all of the top dogs, all of the big dudes in the world, okay? They look, the reason they're able to achieve these crazy levels of success, whether it's monetary, whether it's literally for humanitarian, like they've done huge things, is because they literally consistently feel like they're not doing enough. Like, bro, if it was just for the money or whatever it was, they would have stopped a long time ago. But it's no, it has to do with their fucking work ethic, with the way their mind works. They never turn off because they constantly feel like they could be doing more. They constantly feel like they're not doing enough. And that's what has gotten them to the level that they are, whether it's in sports, bro, whether it's in business, again, whether it's like just for humanity as a whole, fucking developing new technology, whatever it is. And it's because they've adapted the winner mentality. Boys, I'm going to talk about in this video exactly on why you need to switch your perspective on this fucking world. Like a lot of you, I talk to a lot of you, and the biggest thing that I see and the biggest problem that all of you have is the limiting beliefs that you put on yourself, that you've been taught or that you have just normalized in this life because of how shitty normal life is and just because of how you've grown up. So the first thing, and I'm going to show you how to basically open your mind, obviously, because we need to identify the problem and then the solution. So, guys, in my journey, there were huge pivotal moments. And the biggest thing I just want you to pick up on real quick is a wise man learns from other man's mistakes, right? So you're going to sit here and I really want you to pay attention to my mistakes and what I'm going to tell you here. But at the same time, I kind of want you to go fuck up on your own. I kind of want you to not really listen to what I'm saying so that you can go and experience this for yourself and go through that pain so that the destination and the reward feels better, feels a little more rewarding, right? But then at the same time, if it can save you time and shortcut, great. Learn from my mistakes, bro. So the first thing is, and this is the most recent example I've heard when it comes to a limiting belief, is making money is hard. Okay? The reason that you're not making the kind of money you want to right now is probably because you think making money is hard. Listen, the reason I make a lot of money is because I think making money is easy. This shit just comes to me, bro, because I think it's easy. And the times in my journey where I reassociated making money as hard to myself and in my mind, those are also the times where I made the least amount of money ever. In my journey around 3 years in, I talk about this all the time. I had to go work at Target, right? And what I did at that point in time was like, dude, I was fucking down bad mentally, everything, even though I was jacked. Like the problem I had is in my mind, I like stopped believing myself in a sense and I associated, again, money to being very hard to make. And at that point in time when I was working at Target, I made $800 in 2 weeks. $800 in 2 weeks. It's like $1,600 in a month. And it's literally because of the limiting belief I put on myself at that point in time again, right? And you can see how your perception dictates your reality, and I'll make that another video as well. But now compare that to about a year before that, okay, when I was literally in Europe, working for myself. I associated money to being fucking printable, easy, working on my laptop, making bread every day, working like 30 minutes a day. I was literally going to international soccer games. I was in another country working for myself. Nobody was telling me what to do. I thought everything was easy. And because I thought it was easy, it became easy. And so you can literally see how your limiting beliefs will shape your fucking reality, bro. Now, I don't want you to just think about this in a monetary gain or in a monetary way in any shape or form, right? Because this literally has to do with your whole life. Like a lot of you that I talk to, again, you think something is the way it is just because it's the way it's been constructed in your mind without actually doing in some way, shape, or form some kind of backed up research to help you understand why it is the way something is. Like, you will think of something and think of the way something works in the world just because of your perception on the world. When what you have to do is go and do some fucking research, bro. Go and open your mind a little, and now when you think about a subject, you have some basically backing behind the way it is you're thinking. Because what you're doing right now and why you're limiting your mind is because the way your mind works right now is literally limited by your experience on life, by basically everything you've gone through and every book you've ever read, and that's what's limiting your thinking. But you haven't experienced life that much. You haven't actually researched life enough. You haven't opened your mind enough, and that's why they say it's a limiting belief. That's why I say you're limiting yourself and you have a limited mind, because you're thinking right now in this realm of what you've been taught and what you've been through from the beginning of your life until now. Well, what you need to do is reconstruct that. You need to now think of like this in this kind of realm. And how do you think in this kind of realm? You do it by doing this, okay? By going through more shit, by experiencing more shit, number one. So in my specific scenario, it's been like a hardcore 4.5, almost 5 years. And then now I've gotten to the point where I've also analyzed like the past 22 years of my life, like before I started really taking shit serious, right? And making money online and all this stuff, before I had like the wake up call. But the other thing I did in these 4.5 years is I completely opened my mind with the right kind of resources, like books, like videos, these kind of videos, movies, just everything that I surround myself with has been in some way, shape, or form beneficial to opening my mind. Like, a great example I can give to you is the kind of movies I watch. Guys, I only watch movies about like success or about like the journey. As dumb as that sounds, like I will watch movies on, yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie. It's called Dumb Money. It's literally how GameStop fucking had its, crazy pump and all this, or The Wolf of Wall Street, or The Great Short, or there's this great movie, I don't know what the name of it is, but there's this dude, he's a drummer, and I think it's called Whiplash, that's what it is. He's a drummer, and he goes to school to become a drummer, like in college, in university, and he's like obsessed with it, right? And then he falls off a little, and then he goes back and like he does this great thing. But what I'm getting at with that is like I always surround myself with things that are going to open my mind, right? Books, for example. The best 2 books off the top of my mind that I can give to you to help you in opening your mind. Number 1 is the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Great book, bro. In short, again, 10X Rule. You 10X all of your goals, 10X all of your actions. Great book on opening your mind. The next one is The Secrets into the Millionaire Mind. It is also a great book. I don't even remember. I think it's by Napoleon. No, that might be the other one. I don't remember. I haven't read this book in a while, but The Secrets into the Millionaire Mind. If you go on my Instagram, on my highlighted stories, you'll be able to see I did like a review of some of the chapters, and when I got finished with it, it's on my highlighted stories on Instagram. Link in the description. So books, movies, content like this, I used to consistently watch content and listen to other young dudes that were in the position I wanted to be in, bro. Like literally watching this kind of content where I sit here and yap, and I would just sit there and watch dudes that were making a fuck ton of money and the way they were thinking, and I adopted those levels of thinking. Like the best fucking example to this day, I still, like, this is a huge part of my journey, bro. It's like a scarcity and abundance mindset. When I go to the store, okay, for example, nowadays, which is very rarely, honestly, because it wastes so much fucking time, there will be like a sauce. Like yesterday, we were looking at a sauce because we were going to cook some fucking steak. We barbecued and chicken, and we weren't sure what sauce to use to marinate it in. And we were sitting there kind of thinking of the spices and the sauces. Which one do we choose? And we were sitting there for a good like minute or two, bro, before it dawned upon me, like, why am I sitting here trying to limit myself choosing between the two? Let's just grab both. Let's grab both. Why are we thinking about which one to grab? Take both. Same with the drink. Sometimes I'll catch myself, which drink do I want to grab today? Fuck it, I grab both. It is what it is. Abundance mindset. Why am I trying to limit myself to one? Grabbing both, bro. And I'll teach you how this mindset shift happened. It was in my journey. I was watching this video of a dude who went to buy a Lamborghini. And he couldn't decide. By the way, this was a young dude, right? He went to a Lamborghini dealership and he couldn't decide whether to get the drop top Lambo or just a regular. Now, what is a drop top? It was basically like a hard top convertible, which means it's a convertible, but it's a hard top. You have to like physically take it off. And then the other one was just, it was a non-hard top, so just like a regular Lambo where the top doesn't go down. And he couldn't decide which one. And they were both the exact same car, exact same spec. I think it was blue on black wheels. And so what did this guy do? This guy bought two Lamborghinis. He bought both of them because he couldn't decide which one to buy. And that, bro, right there was such a huge eye-opener for me because it was like, dude, at the top level, these cars are like $500,000 each. He just dropped $1 million on cars because he couldn't decide which one, so we bought both. An abundance mindset, bro. And in that, it's like, dude, a lot of you don't understand. You need to be replicating the actions of people at the top level, because in acting like a top level person, you will become a top level person, right? And so literally in that, like after that day, I promise you that shifted the way I make decisions as a whole. Whenever I think of one or the other, no, it's both. Why not both? Especially when it comes to money, I'm like, dude, let's get both. Figure out a way to make the money back faster. Okay, now I got some fire under my ass. Got to make that money back. And so literally in those kinds of things, in those kinds of moments in my journey, did I realize the limiting beliefs I had on myself. Or a lot of you guys, and this is why I recommend you go watch the 10X rule, is you have very small goals. Like one dude, one of his goals was to make his first $1,000 before the end of the year for himself. Dude, the end of the year is like 3-4 months away. Dude, in 4 months, $1,000? Fucking make that goal higher, bro. Let's make 10K before the end of the year. Or 100K. Maybe even I'm limiting myself right now, right? For example. But again, a lot of you guys are literally killed by your own mentality because you're thinking right now in this loser mentality instead of this winner mentality. Again, the man who thinks he can and the man who thinks he can't are both right. And then you have all of these limiting beliefs on top of that. And it's like you're keeping yourself in a box. You need to break out of this box. And in its most simple form, like the way this happened for me is I had to like literally kill myself mentally, which is the saddest part of the journey, but also the best part. I had to recreate myself from zero. So everything I thought, everything I've been taught, I had to throw in the garbage, literally. Because if I thought about it, everything I know has been from like mainly two sources, like two resources, okay? First one is my family. My family ain't rich, so why am I taking advice from them? And then the second thing is the education system, which is school, the government education system, and we know that ain't good for you, chief. So it's like if everything I've really been taught has been from the government and my family's not in a position I want to be in, why am I thinking in those two ways? And so I literally had to disregard everything I've learned. The only thing that I didn't throw out of the garbage is the moral lessons and like the life lessons that my grandpa and my dad and my mom and my family have taught me, and like lessons I've learned through hanging out with friends and those kinds of lessons, like life lessons. But anything in any way, shape, or form that has to do with like money and all of that other stuff, right? Compared to like morals and honor and respect, I had to disregard. And that's what allowed me to open my mind. Because what I did there is I essentially removed the box. Because the box is everything that I knew until I had to, everything I knew until it came time and I realized that where is the information in my head? Where did it come from? And then again, in these books that I read, in these movies I watch, in the content I watch, in what else is there? All the education that I gained through online, right? Whether it was in any resource, okay? Just like anything in general. A course, a community that I paid for with like-minded people. That's what allowed me to open my mind. And in the process of doing all of this, has it allowed me to change my entire perception on life, business, everything. And that's what you have to do, guys. You literally have to kill your current self mentally and rebuild upon that. Because everything that you think right now could be wrong, bro. And it is killing you. Because the reason you won't do certain things is because you are thinking in a certain way about that thing, right? Like the best example I want to give to you guys is I was just talking to my business partner, his little brother, and my little brother yesterday. We had a barbecue right out here. I told you we were trying to chew sauces. So we cooked, right? We were grilling. And after the grill, we were all just sitting there, just chopping it up, right? A bunch of young, hungry killers, and they're all family. It was great. And we're sitting there, bro, arguing about who works the hardest. And it was hilarious because we're all just going back and forth, bro, on like, ain't no fucking way you work harder than me. It's like, oh no, I just don't think you're working harder than me. It was hilarious. And then I was like, oh, I think I work harder than all of you, right? And it was just, yeah, it was so great. It was so great. And that's why I have a free community, boys, to have these kind of conversations. If you want to join us, the second link in the description. But a bunch of like-minded dudes like that, right? All young, hungry killers. And again, what this leads to is like in hanging around that kind of environment, that will also allow you to open your mind. Hanging with high caliber dudes will show you what's possible. This is why I'm so big on mentorship. Either if, for example, if you come and work with me, I will fucking murder all of your self-beliefs, all of your limiting beliefs, sorry, and pretty much the way you think as a whole. And that will help you. For example, now when I pay for a mentorship, for somebody that's above me and I'm trying to learn what they're trying to teach or what they've accomplished, they are going to kill my current beliefs, right? And it's just kind of understanding that dynamic, which is huge, and then the biggest thing I wanted to touch on there was like, again, the hard work and how, dude, literally like a lot of you don't even believe in yourself, which is insane to me. And I understand there's definitely parts and certain time periods in the journey where you don't believe in yourself because things do get hard. But like, bro, it all stems from here. If the man who thinks he can, the man who thinks he can't, from the moment you wake up, you decide if you want to do something or not. And so literally an understanding that it all stems from here, brother, you have to change everything in this realm right here to change your reality. So, boys, hopefully that made sense on changing the perspective, bro. I know this was a little bit of a longer video. I went into a bunch of examples, but again, it's just understanding the dynamic of winners don't think they're working hard enough. I still, till this day now, don't think that I'm working hard enough. And then losers think they're working hard enough, when in reality, they're not doing shit. Okay, I have this quote that I came up with yesterday or 2 days ago at night. It was like, your dreams look like my nightmares. Because your dream life is my like worst life. That's the kind of level that I want to get to, right? And it's because what I'm getting at with that is like your standard and my standard are completely different. And so like My bad day looks like your fucking amazing day because of that. Your dreams look like my nightmares. And in simply understanding that dynamic of winner mentality compared to loser mentality will change everything for you. So boys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I know this was a little bit longer video. If you want to work with me one-on-one on building a personal brand, we're about to hit 10 fucking K on YouTube. Don't get left behind, bro. Make some fucking money and document it in the process. You can apply to work with me. First link in the description will show you how to make your first $10,000 online. Also got a free fucking brotherhood, free community. If you want to join, it's the second link in the description, where I do go live on there with you guys. I'm not too sure on the schedule yet, but we go live on there. All the boys in there pretty much have a little bit of access to me. You can ask me questions. And it's just a brotherhood, bro. It's pretty sick. Hopped on a live with some of you guys on Sunday this past week. Was amazing. Also in there, there's some course content on how to make your first $1,000 online. But yeah, with that being said, boys, I love each and every single one of you. Get to fucking work. Stop having these limiting beliefs, and I will see you in the next video.